Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in Gyaneshwari, chapter 18. The commentary on Gyaneshwari is called as Bhavartha Deepika. We are in verse number 73. And after having told and given all the knowledge to Arjun, the Lord, Bhagwan, tells Arjun in the let me check which verse is that. It's not there. This is 74. And this is not there also. So I don't know. So he told that the man who might merely hear this with faith and without cavilling, he too shall be freed from evil and attain the blessed worlds of righteous men. And that was what we saw in the 71st and 72nd verse. In the 70th and the 69th, the greatness of the Gita was talked about by Gyaneshwar Maharaj. And now he is saying that even mere chanting, mere reading, all that can give the fruit as long as you interact with the divine, with the Bhagavad Gita, and the giver of the Bhagavad Gita, not with a doubt. There was a dialogue between Shiva and Shankar. And what the Parvati, Shivji asked Parvati, can you go and kill the Shumbha Nishumbha, or can you go and kill the various Rakshasas? Do you have any doubt? She looks at him. She says, where Shanka in Hindi means doubt. Shanka means doubt. Where there is no Shanka, where there is no doubt, she is Shankari. And the man who has got no doubt, he is Shankar. Doubt about what? Doubt about who you essentially are. And same thing, when we do not have any doubt about the person who is giving the Bhagavad Gita, who has given the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagwan himself, that he is Bhagwan, and we approach it with faith, we hear it with faith, we contemplate on the words of the Bhagavad Gita with faith, then such a person also is freed from all evil. And this is what Panchadashi says, Dukkha nivritti sukha prapti. Dukkha is evil. Dukkha is everything that takes you away from, it comes about only because something has taken you away from yourself. And eventually it leads to dukkha. And attains to the blessed worlds of righteous men. And what are the wise men established in? Happy for no reason. Don't worry, be happy. I got a bottle from which I drink. I don't have it here in the bag. Don't worry, be happy. So this was seen by us in the 71st verse. Then in the 72nd verse, we saw the Lord said that, have you listened to this, O Partha, with one pointed mind? Have you been ekagra chitta? Do you have a Bhagavad Gita here, Mataji?
Sorry?
Do you have a Bhagavad Gita?
Yes.
Can I just have it? So have you listened to this Shravanam? And how you do Shravanam? With ekagra chitta manaha, with single pointed mind. Has your delusion due to ignorance been destroyed, O winner of wealth? Only remember, again, these points keep coming again and again, but we give them we take it very lightly. What was that? Moodha, Kshipta, Vikshipta, Ekagra and Niruddha. The mind appears as in 5 moods. Moodha, dull, inert, tamasic. Kshipta. Kshipta is agitated, restless. Vikshipta, distracted. That is our mind. Ekagra, single pointed mind. That's another mood of the mind. And Niruddha, zero mind. Out of all these 5, only the ekagra chittamana, thank you, only the ekagra chittamana is conducive for removing delusion, to remove the ignorance. And here it says, Kachchidetat shrutam partha त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा कश्चिद् ज्ञान सम्मोहः pranashtaste dhananjaya. So, have you listened? Have you heard correctly? What? The Bhagavad Gita. What? The summary of Bhagavad Gita. What else? The one verse which was told by Bhagwan that is the essence of everything. Have you heard clearly? Have you heard that even if one word from the Bhagavad Gita is chanted with faith and devotion and surrender, it will lead to moksha? Have you heard that? Have we heard that over last 7-8 years that we have been doing this Gyaneshwari? Or still the cobwebs of our mind are intact? And if we say, yes, some cobwebs have been removed, why not entirely? Why have we fallen short? The falling short is only because of non-availability of ekagra mana, ekagra chetas, a single pointed mind. And single pointed not on the world, single pointed on the divine, single pointed on the dharma, single pointed on the truth. Has your delusion due to ignorance been destroyed? This was the problem that Arjuna faced in the first chapter. He mentioned it, that I am completely, I'm in the crisis. I don't know what is right and wrong. I don't know whether to fight or not to fight. I don't know whether to kill the guru or not to kill the guru. I don't know whether to kill the grandfather or not to kill the grandfather. I don't think I want anything from this war. I don't want the kingdom. Where is he saying all this? In the middle of the battlefield. When all the permutation combinations have been done, all the conclusions have been taken, decisions have been taken, the final hour is there. The moment is there. Instead of being inspired to fight for the righteousness, Arjuna succumbs to delusion. And therefore, as a conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan doesn't want to make a decision for Arjuna. No wise person makes a decision for anyone. So, he is asking, has your delusion due to ignorance got destroyed, O winner of wealth? So on one hand, he is talking about destruction of the delusion, and on the other hand, he is reminding Arjun that he is the winner. He is a success story. He is the ideal of those times. See? Gyaneshwari Maharaj says here, oh, we have already done this verse. So, have you gotten rid of the infatuation in your heart towards the father, grandfather, the teacher, the cousins, etc., etc.? And as this was being talked about, the Lord is reminding Arjun to be ekagra chetasa, tvaya ekagrena chetasa, to be single pointed on the consciousness, the Brahman that is. All solutions are gained not by thinking about the world. All solutions, initial stages, all solutions automatically appear as long as we are focused single pointedly on the consciousness that we are. Just as first when we are focused on the consciousness, first the darkness removes, then afterwards even the light is removed. Then what is remained? The supreme light. That is the truth. Agyan is removed, Gyan is also removed. Then what is remaining? That you are. Self-knowledge without any doubt, without any thought. This is the process. The more we contemplate on the consciousness that we are, more we contemplate on the truth, the divine, to that extent, the thoughts of the world will stop playing a havoc in our mind. Understand this. The more you think of the thoughts, the more you think of the world, the thoughts of the world will take you for a merry-go-round. But when your thoughts are single-pointedly focused on the divine theme, whether by jap, whether by silent contemplation, but the contemplation is very clear. What is your focus? To that extent, the unwanted thoughts in the mind, they subside. For some people, they subside. For some people, a better way to put it, that they stop having an impact on the person, on the mind, on the consciousness. And in this way, by saying these words of single-pointed ekagrena chetasa, the Lord makes Arjuna revisit that the purpose is not anything but to be the consciousness. Because that's where all the solutions are. In fact, no solutions are required in consciousness. There's nothing to remove and nothing to gain in consciousness. Consciousness is complete. Purnamada Purnamidam. But when we are speaking in a manner of language, at that time we can say that Arjuna was reminded by Bhagwan about the supreme goal, the supreme being, that the consciousness that he essentially is. Ekagrena Chetasa, by focusing on that, by contemplating on that, how naturally, without too much effort, in fact effortlessly, and reminded Arjuna whether he has attained the consciousness or not. And then now we come to with that thought, now we come to the 73rd verse. This is which one we have to do. Let me just find the page in the book. You have to open each page at a time. 73rd, right? Got it. Arjuna Uvacha Nashto Moha Smritir Labdha Tvat Prasadan Mayachyuta Sthitosmi Gata Sandeha Karishye Vachanam Tava. Together, Arjuna Uvacha Nashto Moha Smritir Labdha Tvat Prasadan Mayachyuta Sthitosmi Gata Sandeha Karishye Vachanam Tava. Arjuna said, Arjuna Uvacha said, who said? Arjuna said, what did he say? Nashto moha smritir labdva. Nashtaha is destroyed, gone. Moha, delusion. So my delusion is gone. And smritil labdva, and smriti is memory, labdha is gained, and I have now gained my memory as to what my duty is. Suddenly we are watching TV, we are gossiping, we are eating food. Suddenly we remember, Ore Bapre, tomorrow we have got an exam. And we run forget everything quick, or eating food quickly and put the TV off, run to our room, get to the table and finish the assignment and get prepared for the exam tomorrow. Smriti Labdha. You remembered. Same way. So, is it that I remembered? If I remember what I have to do in life, the attention goes on my individuality. So, Arjun, after the entire 18 chapters, he says, Tat Tvat Prasadan Mayachyuta, and I have recollected my duty through your Tvat Prasadan, by your grace. We have said this many times throughout the Bhagavad Gita, that it is only due to the grace of the Lord that everything is happening. Grace is all that there is. There is nothing else outside the grace. Unnecessarily, the ego says, I am doing it, I am achieving it, I have made it, I have destroyed it, I have won it. No, everything is by His grace, including the sneeze that comes or the hiccup that comes. Just now I was eating dosa, hiccup came. That also is by grace, so that there is no traffic jam there. Oh Achyuta. And then he says, Sthitosmi gata sandeha karishya vachanam tava. Sthitosmi gata sandeha. I stand secure with no doubts. Sthitaha means established. Asmi is I am established. Gata sandeha, and all doubts have been removed. Gata means gati, have gone away. And I am ready and eager. I shouldn't say eager here. And I'm karishye vachanam tava. And thus, because there are no doubts, because I am established in myself, because all this is because of your grace, that the moha, the delusion is gone, and my memory as to what is my purpose at this very moment, in this juncture of my life, what is my purpose? That is very clear, and I am ready to carry out the diktat of yours. I am ready to do what you say. Karishye vachanam tava. Karishye, do, vachanam, I'll do what you say. And in this manner, this is penultimate verse, one verse before the last one. Now the bhashya goes, bhashya I'm saying, the OV goes, Maga Arjuna mane kai devo pusatati avade moho tarito sakutumba gela jithavo घेऊनी आपला पासी येऊनी दिन करे डोळ्याते अंधारे पुसिजे हे काही सरे कोणे गावी तैसा तू श्रीकृष्णराया आमुचिया डोळया गोचर हेची काही सया न पुरे तव. He says, who Arjuna? He says, O Lord, why do you ask whether I still have that delusion? Huh? Why do you still doubt that I have not been listening? Do you still doubt that I have not understood? Do you still doubt? The commentator is thinking in this manner. Do you still doubt that I was not single-pointed when you were speaking? Do you still doubt that whether I still have that delusion? It has already left with bag and baggage. Will it be reasonable for the sun to approach and ask, do you see darkness? In the same way, is not your very presence or is not your very sight sufficient to dispel this delusion? This is what we are talking about before. When your vision looks at its own source, all colors and forms vanish. They melt away. When you go to the source of the word, Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para, the whole waking world, dream world, deep sleep world vanishes. Even Samadhi vanishes, if I may say so. We can again go deeper into that, but this is not the point. See? Similarly, as we go closer and closer to the sun, all darkness vanishes. In fact, in the presence of the sun, there is no darkness possible. And this is exactly what Arjuna is telling our Bhagavan, that in your just as in the presence of the sun, in the light of the sun, in the effulgence of the sun, darkness is not possible. And I am standing in front of the Son of all suns, meaning he is the ultimate one, the supreme consciousness, the supreme reality, taken the form of Bhagavan in front of him, in the incarnation of Bhagavan. He says, by standing merely in your presence, how can delusion even show its head? It's completely dispelled. And this is so again I come back to the point. Ekagrena chetasa. Are we in the presence of the light of our lights, the consciousness that we are? Or are we looking for the light in a temple? We are looking for a light in a dream. We are looking for the light in some scripture. We are looking for the light in some Guru Maharaj outside. We are looking for the light in some experience. Never accepting that the light that which we are seeking is located in your own heart. Heart meaning the intellect. You are in essence that light. Come to your true nature. Automatically start contemplating on that nature. Automatically all the darkness, delusion, ignorance, everything will go away.
Alert from updates available.
So this is the update that we have to make in ourselves, in our software. Continuing. Vari lobhe maya pasuni te sangasi tod bharuni जे काय से निही करूनी जाणू नये आता मोह असे की नाही हे ऐसे जी पुससी काई कृतकृत्य जाहलो पाही तुझे पणे. Let me check. तुझे पणे 52, 87. Yeah, sorry, just I have to get the Marathi one. Here we are. तो तू माझा जी निरूपचारू श्रीकृष्णा सेव्य सद्गुरु मा ब्रह्मतेचा उपकारू हाची मानी जे मज तुम्हा आड होते भेदाचे कवाड ते फोडोनी केले गोड सवा सुख तरी आता तुझी आज्ञा सकळ देवाधिदेव राज्ञा करी न देही अनुज्ञा भलतीये विषयी. He says, you have explained to me in detail the knowledge, with affection greater than that of a mother. Now, if you ask me whether I have got rid of my infatuation, I readily tell you that through your grace I have accomplished my object. I had got entangled in the notion that I am Arjuna, but after becoming one with you, I have become free from it. Through your favor, I have come to I come to realize the self and got rid of my infatuation. It was through the notion of duality that I was bothered by the question whether I should do it or not do it. That is, should I fight or should I not fight? This was the delusion. Where are we? Good. Now I know nothing in this world except yourself. This is the state that we have to come to. Every moment, not one day we have to reach there. Every moment must be an overflow of this feeling that Arjuna is expressing. Every moment. There's no doubt as to who you are, who God is, what the world is. And as a result, whatever is taking place at any given moment, when our attention is on the divine, we cannot take a wrong position. Whatever is meant to happen at that moment, with integrity, it will happen. But we are addicted. The word for addiction here is taken infatuation. We are infatuated that I have to do something, I have to maintain my family, I have to take care of my family, I have to do this, I have to do that. And in that whole we get entangled in that individuality. And that individuality is about only this body. Ekagra Chetasa is leaving this identity of this body and merging in the divine. And once, even if you are close to the divine, there can be no darkness. What to talk about when one is merged in the divine? Think. That, and all this has been possible only by your grace. So if you want to make it practical at this moment, we are speaking, we are hearing by His grace, eyes are blinking by His grace, breath is moving in and out by His grace, this hand is moving by His grace, thoughts are coming in the mind by His grace, memory is coming by His grace, explanation is coming by His grace, you are understanding by His grace. Everything is happening by His grace. Don't bring yourself in between. Be intoxicated. If you want to be intoxicated, don't get intoxicated with the ego, with the individuality. Be intoxicated with the Lord. That every thought, every event, every experience, everything is only by His grace. And why has He made this whole journey for us? Only to come back to Him. That Arjuna is there in the Bhagavad Gita, he is the Arjuna within, who was infatuated. We are infatuated. If everything is happening by His grace, then He will make us one with Him when His grace feels like. Well, His grace felt like, and at this moment it brought you to Bhagavad Gita. What are you doing about it? Are you available? Are we available? Don't think in the wrong way. And in this way, through your favor, I have come to realize the self and got rid of my infatuation. It was through the notion of duality. And what is the duality? I versus the father, grandfather, I versus the teacher, I versus the cousins, Pandavas versus the Kauravas. And what is the vision now? What is the vision of Arjuna now? Everything is nothing but that one divine. As if playing the game of Pandava and Kaurava. See? Can we look at this whole world in this with this vision? Can't force it, you'll get a headache. Then what is the easy way? If I can use that word, easy. Surrender to the Lord. Ekagrena chetasa. By being single pointed towards the divine consciousness that you are, automatically this will start happening. What will start happening? Duality will dissolve and unity of experience will be your natural state. Duality is not natural. Unity is the natural state. Duality is a superimposition. And it fades away in the light of consciousness. And it was due to the notion of duality that I was bothered by the question in the first chapter and second chapter, whether I should fight or whether I should not fight. Now I know nothing. Now I don't know whether to fight or not to fight. Then what do I know? I know only one thing. What is that one thing that I'm sure of? Not about war, not about Pandavas and Kauravas, not about guru, teacher, etc., etc. I'm absolutely 100% sure about the divinity that you are. Divinity that the consciousness is. This is also a great achievement in that sense. It's not for the faint-hearted. With a distracted mind, while listening to Bhagavad Gita, having your dinner, having a cup of water, having a cup of tea, a coffee, legs up, it will not happen. Anyway, who am I to say? But it requires discipline, it requires availability, no distractions. No distractions whatsoever. 805, 806, 807 है. हाँ. Hey. Where are we? 74, 75. Not feel even a shadow of doubt about it. I have now reached a state, that state in which nothing remains for me to do. I have realized my essential nature through you, and there remains nothing for me to do except do your bidding. You are my preceptor, my God, the sight of whom obliterates the visible universe. Am I in the right page? Wait a minute. 70. We are in 75. So what am I reading? Correct ही चल रहा है. Ek minute, I'm just getting confused here with all these pop-ups that are coming out. 805, what is the page showing? Verse 73, 711, 712, 65.
OV 1567, Swamiji. 1567, we need to do.
So I think in Marathi I have changed something here. Gone. One moment. Confusion galore. Marathi. Page number 88, 87. 1562. I have done 1562. 87, 88, 1562. And the pages are missing in between. Suddenly my next page is coming to 1573. What do we do now? What do we do? What do we do? I have no answer.
He spoke with Ushaji, Swamiji.
I don't have my next page is beginning with 1573. So the previous, it should start from 61 to 72. It has to go, no, somewhere.
You have done till 66, Swamiji. 1566 you have done.
But 66 to 73, some 5 verses are missing somewhere. I don't know. I don't have a page for it. I'm trying, looking. Is 80. Anyway, how does it matter? We'll when I come back to Melbourne, we'll do these verses again with the proper book. Okay, now I have to go to page 12. 805. 805. 806. So these few, how many, 5 verses are missing here, OVs are missing. And I have now reached that state in which nothing remains for me to do. So total ahanta is gone, total doership is over. And that is required. Why are we doing karma? Why are we offering all our actions to the Lord? We are doing karma for purification. And how does purification come about? By not owning the karma. How do you not own the karma? By offering it to the Lord. And as we keep offering to the Lord, slowly, our importance giving moves from I am doing from the karma to the one because of whom the karma is happening. And slowly our mind gets, as we keep offering to the Lord becomes the priority, karma becomes the secondary. He becomes the primary. And that is the way. But we don't want to do that also. Hopefully, we have learned that lesson. And what will happen when we come to be one with the divine, when we are completely single-pointedly merged in the divine, surrendered to the divine, there will be doubt-free. We will be doubt-free. Sanshaya vimuktatma, nashto moha. Delusion expresses as doubts. Nashto moha. So now the mother is itself gone, moha. And the grandmother is agyana. When there are no doubts, understand, action takes place only where there is doubt. Because doubt leads to duality, continuance of duality. And when there is no doubt, then only the Paramatma is left. Then individuality is no more. Vision has transformed. And everything that is, your eyes, all your senses are functioning. I'm only speaking in this manner. All your senses are functioning. Activity is going on. Waking, dream, deep sleep is going on. But there's nothing to achieve. As our Swamiji says, nothing to do, nowhere to go. And in the manner of speaking, only these type of words can come out. There's nothing which remains for me to do. I realized my essential nature through you, and there remains nothing for me to do except do your bidding. One cannot do anything else. Everything is as the Lord wants thereafter. It's not that once we come to know the self, because this is Moksha Sanyaasa Yoga. Once moksha has been gained, doesn't mean everything is over. Till this body is there, till then the totality, Jeev Jagat Ishwar is still there. Till this body is there, Jeev Jagat Ishwar is still there. But the owner of the three is not there. Now what is your experience? Everything is that one alone. And when everything is one alone, and that is your nature, you have surrendered to that totality or universal self or the supreme self, then everything that is taking place is nothing but by his will alone. It cannot be anything but that one. We cannot have an individual will that I'll go this way, I will not go this way, I don't want to go to the shore. It has got no will. It is at the mercy of the ocean, the totality, the Ishvara. For her, that wave, the God, the Ishvara is the ocean. But even while moving, even though it is the Lord's will that the wave is moving, but if the individual wave ego comes up and says, oh, I'm going to go that way, just like we do, hunger comes, I am hungry. Sleep comes, I am sleepy. Waking happens, I am awake. This is ego. Everything is happening by his will, and his ego comes and owns it. So everything, nature through you, and there remains nothing for me to do except your bidding. You are my preceptor, my God. So you are my Guru, you are my God, the sight of whom obliterates the visible universe. In other words, it's not that it obliterates the visible universe. even though he's saying these words, he's seeing the Lord standing in front of him, he's seeing the army standing in front of him. But now the eyes are seeing, but the vision has transformed. The vision has transformed. So here we are not talking about running away from life. We are talking about being where you are and transforming your vision. How do you transform your vision? By being single-pointed on the essential nature, on the conscious principle, on the divine principle, on the unchanging principle, on the constant principle. Only by the grace of that the vision changes. When we keep doing that, somewhere along the way, the individuality melts away. Just like the waker thinks of the sleep, somewhere along the way, the waker dissolves without even realizing, and sleep begins. Similarly, when we are single-pointedly on the truth, on the divine, somewhere along the way, the seeker, the individual, the mind dissolves, the I dissolves. And in its place, the truth reveals. The God reveals. And in this way, obliterates the visible universe, meaning obliterate means now you are unaffected by the variety of the universe. You know exactly where the whole world stands. What is its truth? Who, although dual, removes all duality, the sight of whom obliterates the visible universe, who, although dual, removes all duality, who, although single, pervades everything, whose very contact snaps all bonds, who, when longed for, destroys all longings, and who, even met with, brings about one's meeting with one's own self, who keeps company in solitude and leads one beyond the knowledge of non-duality. Gyaneshwari Maharaj is remembering his Guru. Gyaneshwari Maharaj has come to that epitome of knowledge that is presented in the Bhagavad Gita. Just a mere verse. Nashto moha smritir labdhva. That all my delusion is destroyed. Because of whom? Because of the Guru Maharaj. Gyaneshwari Maharaj started telling the entire Gyaneshwari only by at the behest of his Guru Nivrittinath. So he is remembering Nashto Moha. Arey yaar, yehi to ho raha hai. Sab kuch chala gaya hai. There is nothing left behind. Latch on to the vision. Let it reveal. Vision of the truth. Let it reveal. Doesn't take long because it's always. So, even though one appears as many, although appears as dual but removes all duality, because why dual? Because Arjuna is here and Krishna is there. Dual, but he has removed all duality, and whose very contact snaps all bonds. Just as your contact of your finger to the switch of to the light switch removes darkness from the room instantaneously. Your contact with the Guru Maharaj, who is himself the divine here, the moment you are in contact with the Guru Maharaj or the divine theme, within that very moment, all darkness, delusion, everything becomes null and void. And destroys, who when longed for destroys all longing. What is seeker doing? Seeker is longing for the truth, longing for moksha. We have replaced all our desires for the world with the desire of liberation. It's a desire, it's a longing. And here Krishna is, Arjuna is saying, or Arjuna has not said all this, he said only Nashto Moha, but Gyaneshwari Maharaj is saying, and he says, who when longed for, who longed for? When you long for the divine, he removes all the desiring once and for all. He removes all longing once and for all. And who, when met with, brings about one's meeting with one's own self. And when you come in touch with the teacher or the divine, initial effort you have to do, just like Arjuna did. But then, just as Krishna is very keen for Arjuna to know and pour into Arjuna the knowledge and making sure that he abides. Same thing, Yamaraj is doing the same thing with Nachiket. Nachiketa came. He asked questions. He was distracted by Yamaraj, but he didn't get distracted. And then Yamaraj became so inspired that he wanted to pour. He wants to pour the entire knowledge and leave no stone unturned, no doubt, no question unanswered for Nachiket. That's the commitment that the Guru Maharaj has taken when he sees a worthy student. So question is not about the teacher, the question is about the student. Are we the worthy student? The Guru Maharaj is ready to pour. The Lord is ready to bless. The self is ready to reveal. It is always. So the obstacle is the seeker himself. The obstacle is in the seeker itself. Until he has to find and negotiate himself through the traffic of his mind in such a way that the seeker must dissolve. That dissolution of the seeker will only happen where there is extreme faith, devotion, surrender, availability, like Arjuna, like Gyaneshwari Maharaj towards his Guru. Are any of those qualities reflecting in us when we look at the Bhagavad Gita, when we touch the Bhagavad Gita, when we look at the statue of the Lord, when we close our eyes and remember the constant principle, unchanging principle, or the Gita is over, धाड़ करके फेंक दिया भगवत गीता को. Here even mere touch, here he says, when met with, when you meet the teacher, he brings about one's meeting with one's own self. This is our experience with our teacher. Incessantly, 6-7 hours, lectures a day. Who does it for nothing? 6-7 hours a day. Like a mother holding the finger of the child, taking you through the entire Prakran Granthas, then the Gita, Panja, all the scriptures, and ultimately to the Upanishads. Through health, through sickness, hunger or headaches and whatever. But class will not be missed. So, none of our classes were missed. Whatever may happen, he is always there for the class. Why? That commitment to the students, to the seekers. And that is the commitment of the Lord. That is the commitment of the Atma to the mind, of the Lord to the devotees, of the Guru to the Shishya. Just by saying I am Atma, it doesn't mean that this quality must express. That is being mentioned here. Brings about one's meeting with one's own self, who keeps company in solitude and leads one beyond knowledge of non-duality. He keeps company in solitude and leads one beyond the knowledge of non-duality. Non-duality, for that you have to read our Amrit Anubhav, where the words Sat, Chit, Anand, Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Swarup, all these have got no meaning. Even the word non-duality, I am a Vedanti. You have decided, you have put on a hat of Vedanta or what? So now you created Vedanta as a sect. Some people say they are Vaishnavites, some people say they are Shaivites. Now you are Vedantins. So is Vedantin a sect? Vedanta means end of all knowledge, gross knowledge, written knowledge, and coming to abidance. And that is what is being mentioned here, that leads one beyond the knowledge of non-duality. Not only lip service of non-duality, like we are doing. This is lip service. What scriptures are doing, it's only akshara service. We have to go beyond all that. We have reached 1570. Remember, next class most probably will be 14th, 15th, 16th and 17th of August. After I come back to Melbourne. We'll conclude here and we'll look at it, look further in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Swami.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Swamiji.
See you. Hari Om, everyone.
Hari Om, Swamiji.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Will Swamiji's classes be on Zoom, Swamiji?
It's a bit of a... He puts it on YouTube. I have to carry the laptop everywhere then. That's the only thing. I'll try. Okay. If I remember, I'll take it. But Swamiji hasn't come yet.
He hasn't.
No, he had a multiple entry visa, but they said it is multiple entry only while you are in Australia, not from India. So he had to go back to his apartment. So now we have applied for a new visa this morning. So hopefully in 2-3 days we have express visa we have applied for. We have given all the brochures and programs so that they expedite it. So hopefully by Sunday, Monday he comes.
So is he still in India, Swamiji?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what can we do? We didn't know.
No. So will there be your class on Sunday morning, Swamiji?
This Sunday morning, I'm going to Newcastle for the satsang. So so there will be a satsang on Saturday after evening, and there will be a satsang on Sunday evening in Newcastle, which I had organized for Swamiji. So I'm going there to take it.
Okay. Okay, Swamiji.
So you can, if I put this laptop, then I'll put the Zoom on. You can come.
Okay, Swamiji. Please message in the group.
I'll message in the groups.
Okay, Swamiji.
Okay.
Thank you, Swamiji. Hari Om, Swamiji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om Saket, I'm saying. Vinay.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Swamiji.
Hari Om Lavina.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam Bhavesh.
Yeah. Please remember to put me on your group, no?
I have not put you yet.
Not yet. Yeah.